the
Oh,
year, the name. I'm trying to double check to make sure. Um,
okay. I have '08 ready to go.
oh 08. Okay, that's the one that I think is actually the trickiest for me. Is oh 08 is oh 08 Vince Young of the Tennessee Titans?
It is, dude.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Let's
Yes.
go.
Yes. Hello and welcome to level 143 of the Thoughts and Players podcast, the gaming podcast with bold takes and no strings attached. I am Jeremy, here with my compadre, David.
What up?
How's your evening going today?
Uh, it's going all right. Uh, my partner had to do a trunk or treat thing today.
Mm-hmm.
So they went to that, dropped her off some food and stuff, and I was just chilling, playing some games, so I can talk about it, right?
Nice.
And since this is episode 143, I want to say I 143 all you guys out there. Get it?
I
You
don't.
don't? You've
I
never
don't.
heard the 143 you?
I
I
haven't. No.
I it's one is I, four is love, three is you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not hip to that.
You gotta get up with the lingo, dude.
I guess so. I guess so. I'm not as into it as I thought I was. I thought I got a lot of these things. I
Thought
mean,
I
I
had
don't.
that down.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to make sure that I'm hip to some things. I'm not trying to go around like I'm not trying to be, a 30 something going around with the young kids yelling 6'7" and doing this, right? Like I'm
Yeah,
not trying to
I've
go around
I
and
have
do
no
that.
idea what that means. I'll be
Yeah,
upfront with that. I have
yeah.
not a clue.
Well, here's the thing that I like about I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha in regards to those memes and stuff. They mean nothing, which is enraging for people. But I love it. It's just chaos.
Yeah.
Let's just make a meme that means nothing, and then everyone gets upset and they try to figure out what it means, and they get more upset because they realize it doesn't mean anything. I think it's brilliant. Um,
It's how they can get back at the adults
exactly,
without
right?
doing anything. It's like passive aggressivism,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Our memes always have a deeper meaning or mean something or has context to them. You know what I mean? Say all our memes freaking originate with I call it the Harambe period. That 3 to 5 year period that is like so, ingrained within a meme internet culture for millennials, but their stuff just means nothing. It's very nihilistic. I actually really like it. So um yeah, ladies and gentlemen, chickens, ducks, and hens, welcome into this level 140 tree. We're going to talk about an interesting topics that obviously covers the gamut of games. But before we get into talking about that topic, we're going to talk about games, the games that
Whoa.
we're
Whoa.
playing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so to jump into this, I can hop into this because it's going to be a similar cadence to last episode. Okay.
Hop right in. The water's
Now I
warm.
told you that last episode I've been playing one game and one
Mm-hmm.
game only.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a week later, and I am
Mm-hmm.
still playing one game and one game only.
Is it the same game?
That game is Ghost of Yote. That's
Let's
right.
go.
Hard pivot, hard pivot. Um, I
Looks
started
like you just had to
playing.
talk about it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that happened, right? I had a conversation with myself,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and I sat myself down and I said, "What are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? Just what are you doing? You've been excited for this game for over a year. This game is the sequel to one of your favorite games ever. You bought the
Wow.
limited edition controller for it. What are
Wow.
you doing playing a strategy game from 2001?
Yeah.
Hey, brother, that game's going to take way longer than it's going to take to play this game. Why don't you? What are you doing? Why deny yourself? I think I have this weird thing with delayed gratification because I
Mm-hmm.
tend to do that a lot, right? With these like new
Mm-hmm.
games, I get them, I'm excited, and then I don't play them immediately. So I started playing Ghost of Yotei. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm over this, right? I have it installed. I got my new controller out. I didn't play it when I initially started playing the game because wrote some. I did an art craft thingy and I got blue marker all over my thumbs and I didn't want to play my new controller because I didn't want to smear any blue on it. So I played with my older controller. But anyway, all that going. I've been playing that. I've got about 18 hours into it.
That was giving my question. How long we playing? That's dang, 18 hours?
18 hours. And I will
Dang.
tell you this.
That is
I
a
will
lot
tell
for
you
you.
this. Yesterday, I thought, you know what? Ghost of Tsushima, um, it's my favorite. I love it more. But Ghost of Yotei is better in every area. It is better
Really?
in every area.
Does
And
that
then
that feels so
today,
good.
I know. And then today, I thought maybe Ghost of Yotei might be my favorite. It might end up beating out Tsushima to be my favorite because it is so much better in every area. The combat is better. They did some iterations and changes in combat where in Ghost of Tsushima you had your katana, but you had different stances that you would fight in. So stone
Mhm.
stance, water stance, fire stance, and those were stances you would
Is this
take to
Avatar?
I know, right? To combat different soldier types. So you would use
Right.
one stance for swords, one stance for spears, you know, like that. In Ghost of Yotei, they've changed the stances to be weapons. So, for instance, if you're going against a swords enemy, the
Okay.
best weapon against a swords enemy is a katana. If you're going against an enemy that has like what is it I forgot the name of it, but either like a dual blade or like I don't want to mess up the name of it, but I think it's called pronounce Akusa yeah, Akusaragami, which is like a hook that has like a chain attached to it, right?
Yeah, those things are so cool.
Yeah, if you're fighting an enemy like that, you would use a Yari, which is basically a spear, right? If you're going against a spear enemy, a Yari enemy, you would use your dual katanas, so on and so forth. And if you're going against really big guys, you use an Odachi. So that's where they've changed the stance element. It's not just a stance with one weapon, it's different weapon types, and you have to get all those different weapon types. Um, but
Intriguing.
like the game is more cinematic in its presentation. The first one leaned a little bit into the Kurosawa kind of you know, like presentation. In fact, there was a Kurosawa mode. There still is one, but even just if you don't choose that, if you just choose a regular presentation, it's a more cinematic presentation. Atsu, the main character, she is awesome. The story behind it is a story of revenge, not unlike the original Ghost of Tsushima to a different extent, except the moral dilemma is inverted because in the first one, Jin's whole dilemma is sacrificing his idea or the idea of a samurai in order to save the land of Tsushima.
Mhm.
And Atsu's dilemma is in her pursuit for revenge, how much is she willing to allow or let other people be casualties to the or the sacrifice to her pursuit of vengeance, right? So it's a little bit
Mhm.
different. It's a little bit of like an inverted take, which I really like. Um, the armor in it is awesome. The side missions. This game has some of the best side missions I've ever played. Like honestly, like I'm
Dang.
playing the side missions and I'm like F the main story for a minute. It'll be there. I'm gonna go do the side missions. And it's not like Fallout 4 side missions where I'm like, hey, let me just go dick around, right? These are side missions where it's like, hey, like I'm like involved, I'm invested. This side mission pays off with either like armor or a different story element or something else that reveals lore about the world that you're in. It's some of the best side missions. I'm talking like I'd have to go back to like the Oblivion, Dark Brotherhood type side
Right.
mission type writing things to where I've been this invested in side missions.
Right. I was
Um,
gonna say, like, that's a really big compliment coming from you
yeah,
because you've played a
yeah,
lot of games with a lot of side missions. You
yeah,
have
yeah.
the experience to say this,
I'm talking like, or
you
maybe like
know?
some people for a more modern RPG, if you want to say like a Witcher 3 type thing of like side mission detail and investment. Like that's the level that this is in. Their side missions are exponentially better than Ghost of Tsushima's side missions. But the presentation of it, obviously, the look of the world is beautiful, is brilliant. I think that Ghost of Tsushima, the way they played with it, I think the colors and the beauty of it work a little bit better because they're a little bit more deliberate. They have a little bit more nuance in Ghost of Yote. They're a little less heavy-handed with it, and it hurts and also helps it. But like you go to different regions, and so like I'm in the Teshio Ridge region right now, which is like all snow. It's northern Japan, right, and it
Got
has
it.
all that. So that's the different look and element of things. Where if you go to different areas in Ezo, that's like it all looks a little bit different. Um, but yeah, I have just been again 18 hours in it. I have just been playing that. I have been so busy that I'm like bummed that I haven't been able to like sit. I mean, I want to sit down and put like 4, 5, 6 hour sessions into this game, and I have
Hmm.
not wanted to do that with a game in forever. I'm talking. It maybe might have been Rome, Expeditions Rome, the last time I sat down and put that amount of hours into a session, into a session. And of course,
Right.
that game needs it because it's a 40 to 60 hour game. This one, like I think I kind of mentioned on, I might have mentioned on how long to beat. I looked it up, and it's like 25 hours to beat the whole game. I'm at 18 hours, and I'm like I haven't beat the second area yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not
Yeah.
gonna happen. And I'm like, yeah, this is so great. So I think for sure, I mean, I haven't been recording anything. I'll probably go back and record some stuff and review some stuff. I think for sure I'm gonna do a review on it. I know it's super late, but um it might be timely, but I just want to
Fine.
play the game. Just I'm playing this game just to play it, not really play it to review it, so to speak. So I'll
Hmm.
have to go back and look at some different things. But that is the only thing I've been playing. And I'm glad I had that conversation with myself. Like, hey, you're an idiot. Get your head out of your rump and play this game. Why would you not play the sequel to one of your favorite games ever? Like, play the game. It might be. I think the fear was that it wouldn't be as good as Ghost of Tsushima. And
Yeah.
it's better.
Yeah.
It's better in every
Yeah.
facet. But that is it for
Uh,
me.
that kind of that talk you had with yourself. I should have had that years ago with Mirror's Edge Catalyst
Yeah.
because I still have never played it.
Oh yeah.
Bought it and everything. I never touched it. And I
Yeah.
feel
You
like it would
gotta.
be
Yeah.
a decent game. Maybe I can
Yeah.
find it on Steam or something. I gotta
All
go to
right.
it. I might play a new game because of you.
There you go. And I mean, hey, if it's a classic that mechanically works similar to other game that you really like and enjoy, I mean, go for
Hmm.
it. You know.
Yeah, see it? Yeah. Okay. Well, the games that I have been playing and that will be playing are my two usuals. I still haven't hit Grandmaster. I'm in that slump. Diamond 2, Diamond 1, Diamond 2, Diamond 1. I keep going back
Yeah.
and forth. I almost get there. I fall down. Gotta love it. I hate it. And Apex, I still just play the wild card mode because you know me. I like all I ever do is play competitive. I don't play quick
Hmm.
play in Marvel Rivals or anything like anywhere. But I got two 4Ks since we've talked last time. So
Okay.
I got like 4 or 5 more characters, and there's like 30. There's not 30. There's probably like 20.
Okay.
So I'm close to getting them all.
Yeah.
But that's most of what I've been playing. Maybe there's a little bit of TFT.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I Yeah. There was a time that I was like I always had at least one mobile game I was playing. I think the last one I was playing was We Are. What are we? We Are Warriors, or We Are. I don't know, something, some little like tower defense battle game or something. But um, I've been all over the place in regards to either solely on console or solely on PC. And it's been typically one game mostly now. Like I usually would balance a couple of them,
Hmm.
but I think it's recently been all in on Medieval Dynasty, which I've been wanting to go back and play, and it's just I get to it when I get to it. Um
Right.
and then it was all in Metal Fatigue. I'm just going to play this, play this, play this. And now it's all in on Ghost of Yote. And I'm telling you, nothing is going to, that thing has got its claws deep in me. Nothing else is getting played for a minute
Yeah.
until it's roll credits on that, which will probably end up being fairly soon. Um, maybe this weekend. Like I knock it out. Yeah, it's not helpful to be a gamer when you have to wake up early in the morning to do work.
Ugh, I know.
You know, you can't. You can't. I mean, I'm losing my mind. I'm breaking my mind. I can't be up till 2 o'clock in the morning playing Ghost of Yote. I'm just mindlessly sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna kill this guy. And yeah. So yeah, but I get it though. Have you? So we could jump into our topic, but this kind of like part of the topic is inspired by this game I'm going to mention now,
Hmm.
which is you play all the competitive shooters.
Right.
We kind of mentioned a little bit in our pre-recording talk, Battlefield 6.
Hmm.
Have you been tempted at all to jump in there and see what that's like?
To be honest, a very little percent. Like it is there, but only because of like I've seen some clips of people playing. I haven't heard
Mm-hmm.
anything bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a Battlefield person. I was always, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. But
Yeah.
those have been trapped
Yeah.
lately. And Battlefield 6, it seems like they've really found what they needed because this game is just blowing up.
Yeah.
The other ones you'll see something good for the first 2 weeks, and it just kind of like dies off.
Yeah.
And I know this is still early, but it seems bigger than those.
It's been sustained. I would say that it has definitely creeping up to those couple of weeks or whatever. It's had the staying power. I used to be a pretty big Battlefield player.
Hmm.
And they kind of lost me with what is it, Battlefield 42, whatever the hell it was, 2042 or something. So no, actually, it was kind of Battlefield 5 is where they lost me. So again, that's great, all the naming conventions. But anyway, like so our topic kind of is spurred off of this because, like you mentioned, you've been hearing pretty good things about it. By all intents and purposes, Battlefield 6 is crushing it. They've somehow been able to take this. Now, I've heard not great things, middling things about the campaign with the Battlefield games. Those types
I
of
mean,
shooters is kind of par for a course, right? I think that's why you and I hold specifically, I'll mention it again until time melts away. It's why we have such an affection for something like Titanfall 6. Is that it shows on Titanfall 2, I mean, like you can create
6, I
I would
wish.
love a Titanfall 6, right? But that's why Titanfall 2 is so great because it can show like you can create a 5 or 6 or 7 hour campaign that is brilliant. It doesn't have to be crap that you poop out alongside a multiplayer game. It can be a brilliant standalone single player experience, and you then
Right.
have the great multiplayer with it. And by all intents and purposes, Battlefield 6, at least I've heard, has been great. And so they're kind of taking this franchise that was kind of on life support a little bit, and they've
Yeah.
given it a shot in the rear of just straight steroids and testosterone, and it is roided up and it is going hard. And that led us to think about, well, what are some instances of franchises that had games or specific releases that turned them around. We talked before about games that eventually got turned around, right? So like for instance, I talked before about No Man's Sky, how it got turned
Right.
around, right? Cyberpunk 2077, how it got turned around eventually, right?
Yeah.
But what are some franchises that got turned around based on those games? And then also, what are some franchises that need a Battlefield? They need their own Battlefield 6. They need their
Mm.
own little, concoction that's a shot in the butt cheeks that get them going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so it's interesting because I think you have one game or that you account for that did it, and two that needed, and I think I have two that did it and one that needs it. I think that's
Correct.
how we had it. Yeah. So, um, do we want to talk about the ones that have done it
Yeah, sure.
first? Let's knock those out. Okay.
Yeah.
So, since I've got two, I'll go and you knock yours out, and then we can wrap up, and then we'll go to the other ones.
That's gonna look so good. Post at it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. It's gonna flow so good. It's gonna flow so great. Uh,
I track myself up.
I know, right? That was a good joke. Let's see here. So much that it ruined my train of thought. What was I going to say?
Yep.
Oh,
My bad, my
so
bad.
no, you're good. You're good. You're good. So the first one that I think about that did it. Might have mentioned this before in some conversations, but the one that immediately jumps to mind for me is the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Ooh,
When you
okay.
had them on, death's door with Unity, and them taking that time, and then coming back with Assassin's Creed Origins. I would argue that Assassin's Creed Origins isn't great, but it is very good and did and changed so many things about the franchise that it helped breathe new life into it. And now you have these later
Okay.
iterations of Odyssey and then Valhalla and then Shadows. Um, there are, I mean, people. I'm principle of it. Like we rag on Ubisoft, right? Because Ubisoft is they create the same games, same format, yada yada yada. There's not a lot of
Pixels look
innovation.
different. That's it.
Exactly. There's not a lot of innovation, right? But this was an instance. This was an example of innovation happening in thought going into something at Ubisoft, right? I've said before, if only they could apply this kind of thinking to Far Cry, if only they could apply this type of thinking to some of their other franchises they have there. Now they kind of did with another franchise I was going to use as an example. That's a strategy game. But specifically for Assassin's Creed, like they did it. They turned it around with Origins. You know what I'm saying? And that got you to these later ones. And I mean, I haven't had a chance to play Shadows yet. I plan to play it maybe after I get done with Ghost of Yote. But I mean, like, even though I've talked before about Valhalla had a lot of bloat
Hmm.
to it, Valhalla's a good game. You know what I'm saying? And when I think about like all the Assassin's Creed games, it's probably of the ones that I've played, it's probably in my top 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
Black Flag is in there. The
okay.
the original one is in there. Probably Assassin's Creed. One of the like the Ezio series, the Ezio storyline was so great. So I have to think about which one of those. But one of the Ezio ones are in it. I don't know if it would be 2 or if it would be Revelations or which one of those. But it's so maybe it's like top 5 as far as Assassin's Creed games, right? So like that's eventually it got there from that change in pivot and origins, and it built
Right.
on it and kept it going and kept it going. So that was a franchise that got turned around for sure. You think of the numbers that it does now, I mean, it's crushing it. You know what I'm saying? I even have to look at best-selling Assassin's Creed games. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows was maybe their best-selling Assassin's Creed release, or it came into second to Valhalla. I think Valhalla might have been the best one. But yeah, that's one example that completely turned the franchise around.
The best selling is Valhalla.
Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. So I mean, like Valhalla is a culmination of that choice. It's a culmination of that pivot.
Right.
Without Origins, you don't get eventually to Valhalla, right? Because Valhalla just doubles down on all those new systems they introduce and introduce some new ones, but the new like kind of emphasis on action RPG, right, and like a little bit less on stealth, a little bit more on doubling down on the free movement and the parkour elements that a lot of influence taken from like the Zelda games, like Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. That's how you eventually get there, and it's better for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And like the next most sold are Assassin's Creed's 4, 3, and 2. So it
Yeah.
looks like they really needed to do the origins and everything and
Hmm.
Valhalla and then now because Black Flag is 15 million and then Valhalla is 20. That's an extra 5 million.
Yeah.
So they're on the right tracks eventually. It took a minute, but they got it. That's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Um, for mine, now numbers wise, it's not going to be making much sense, but reviewed wise, okay, Resident Evil 6 is the least liked out of the fans, quote unquote, right?
Hmm.
And I am not alone. I'm in a few Resident Evil fan pages and stuff, and there of course there's people that like Resident Evil 6. They're like, oh, I don't know why it gets this hate. It seemed like an okay game. It seems a little more actiony. Like it's not even Resident Evil. It just has the characters.
Yeah.
And so people kind of got worried about that. Now Resident Evil 6 is the fourth most sold Resident Evil. And
Mhm.
that's what kind of makes the stance a little difficult, but it came back with Resident Evil 7 because one, those are completely different types of Resident Evils.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 is more like the original 3.
Yeah.
And 4 being my favorite, which is what launched 5 and unfortunately 6.
Yeah.
The original 3 you can't take away from that, right?
Hmm.
And I played Resident Evil 7 in one shot. I was so like addicted to it. It took like 8
Yeah.
hours or whatever like that. It was amazing. But it definitely needed that bring back because then we have the Resident Evil 8 and now we have Resident Evil 9's coming out
Hmm.
and they've tried some side games that haven't done well. But
Yeah.
that's fine. At least they're trying stuff, like hey, let's throw this.
Yeah.
But that's my first one and only one for the one that did and came back.
Yeah. And I would even say, I mean, you let me know if I'm off, but even though they're remakes, because they've done Resident Evil 2, RE2, and RE3 remakes, right?
Yes.
Even though they're remaking those older games, right? It feels like it feels like they if it had not been for the reinvention with 7, that even those remakes would have had maybe a more actiony type of result, and that maybe would have made them less impactful than they were, because both those remakes are highly highly touted, highly rated remakes of those games. I mean, those are I think of the ratings or whatever. Like both those games were like 8s, 9s, 10s, somewhere around
Yeah,
that range. You know what I'm saying?
the 2 remake, fan wise, is regarded as a really good remake. If they cut out some stuff, unfortunately, and people
Yeah.
are kind of upset about that. But 3, a lot of people liked the way it played, but they were very upset with how short it was and how many
Mm.
spaces they cut out.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of them is the bell tower there, and then one of them was like the clock tower. Like, 2 different areas. I can't remember them exactly, but yes, like Resident Evil 3 remake is not in the top 6 that I'm seeing here, but Resident Evil 2 remake is. It's actually the second most sold.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
But
that's a good call. Definitely that it just raised the caliber of that series even more. I mean, it always had like you're alluding to with 6. The series at that point it reached the sales technically.
yeah,
Like this is
like
gonna move units.
Resident Evil 6 moved those units because I feel Resident Evil 5, which is the most sold,
Yeah.
which at 15.8 million, and I think with how well Resident Evil 5 did, and I can only assume so many new people that was their first Resident Evil.
Hmm.
Not everybody
Yeah.
can start at the original. I didn't even. I started at 2. So when
Yeah.
6 came out, they're like, all right, I loved 5. Let's get this. Because Resident Evil 6 sold 14.9
Yeah.
million. So barely, not even a million less.
Yeah.
And I feel like people were just disappointed mostly.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, hey, again, like you said, it shows it can move units. But now we're trying to get people who are a little bit down on it as far as the reception. 7
Right.
moves the units and it gets it back to that caliber of this
Yes.
is
Highly
this is the
rated
pinnacle.
and
Exactly.
highly sold.
This is the pinnacle of horror gaming. Like this is it, right? And
Right.
how we move, how
And
we go about from there.
exactly. Because even now after 6, right, it has a reversed effect of 5. People are like, I don't know. I liked 5, 6 was just not great. I don't know if I want to waste my money on 7.
Hmm.
Then people started seeing stuff and watching gameplay. They're like, you know what? Never mind. I
Yeah.
need to play this.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I mean, for someone like me that would look at 6 and see look so actiony, and then see 7 and be like, well, no, wait, this looks way more scary. I don't want to do this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's some more actiony ones? I don't want to
Right?
try that.
Complete off. See, it's your people that like 6.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, no, this was more safer. There's a bit of stuff. There's all this stuff around. Stuff get blown up. We shoot everything. Let's leave it there. You know what I'm saying? 7 people are just running, this bursting through walls, and I just have to run away. I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? That's the only tool I have is to run away. I don't like this. Um,
Uh,
Yeah, the other game I had, as far as a franchise, and I'm blanking on it right now, but I'm trying to think of actually what it was. It was that, and it was, um, let's see here. I can't really remember what that other one was, so I'm going to use the third one that I didn't have to use,
Okay.
even though the other one was probably a better example. Um, It's another Ubisoft game though, and this is the strategy
Oh,
one I talked about. So there's
okay.
there's a series called Anno, and it's a city building game. And so it started kind of like in the colon. You can almost kind of define it as like a colonization game, which is like a very niche subset of strategy games, but
Hmm.
or a strategy city builder games, but like it is that. And so they had some other versions they came out with. They had like the one that's most highly regarded was like I don't know 1404, and it was fantastic. And then they decided to kind of switch it up. I think they might have had one called like 1503 that came out as well. But then they came out with a bunch of like futuristic ones. So let's see here. Let me make sure that I'm 100% correct on this. But yeah, so then they had yeah, they had 1404. There were other ones that came out before, but again, 1701, 1503. These are like that kind of early medieval colonialization type thing. And then after
Right.
1404, they came out with Anno 2070, which is again a futuristic city builder, which
Hmm.
was not received well at all. And then they came out with 2205, which was received a little bit better, but not received well at all. And it felt like Anno was going the way of a lot of these kind of like early 2000s, 90s city builders, because the first Anno 1602 came out in 98. So this series has been around for a long time. And it
Wow.
felt like it might be going the way of all those other ones. And then in 2019, Ubisoft came out with Anno 1800. And let me tell you, this game is a banger. You can get it right now. It is a banger. I have it right now. Um,
Hmm.
the graphics, the freedom, the building type of options that you have, the abilities to like not necessarily automate, but the way you're able to actually set up and do different things with production lines in these types of games, because that's part of what city building is too, is like trying to set up production lines to create, certain types of goods for your citizens so you can build buildings and initiate trade and do discoveries and all these different things like that. It just set it to a whole nother level. It revitalized that franchise, which is kind of hard. There's not a lot of options in the colonialization city builder type of niche, right? So this is like the big boy. It was great to have it come back. In
Hmm.
November, they're coming out with, and I'm excited for this as well. Anno Pax Roma 117. This is the city building aspect, the colonialization aspect, but you're playing as the Romans. I mean, if there's anybody that knows how to colonize outside of the British, it's the Romans. So you get to do that as a Roman person. Um, and so it's going to be great because they'll have a bunch of different like quests and
Uh,
different things that are put on you as you're building it up, but it looks beautiful. You go to different regions. They have Celtic regions you can settle in and other areas like that. It's great, but Anno
okay.
1800 is the thing. It's what it needed, man. It brung it back. They had those futuristic ones, and it gets a little bit weird. I think people were kind of feeling some type of way because Sid Meier's also had a futuristic kind of Civ game that it did, and people weren't feeling that. I think sometimes those types of
Got it.
games, you don't want to do the pivot to the future. You either leave it to futuristic space, like builders from the ground up, those types of games.
Hmm.
You kind of leave it in this more kind of dated historical aspect. So the fact that they were like, hey, we saw going 1,000 years in the future sucked. Let's go 2,000 years into the past. That might be better. And it's like, you're on the right path. You're on the right path there. But that's the other one that needed that injection of a game to kind of revitalize a franchise.
Hmm. It's seems like people like things that are, quote unquote real more so than what we think is gonna be real.
I know, right? I mean,
That
I
might
don't.
have something to do with it.
Yeah, I have not played. I know 2077 or 2020 or 2205. I'm not sure if they have the advent of like flying cars or some crap like that we thought we were going to have in 2025. You couldn't tell me that in 2002 we wouldn't have flying cars by 2025.
Right.
And now cars work worse.
They work,
they work worse.
We went backwards.
Now we have flying cars. A lot of the cars work worse. So
a lot of the cars barely drive.
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah. They're made out of, plastics that rattle when you get up to 80 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but for that one for sure helped Anno. I'm not sure if there's a lot of people that are big Anno people or know what that series is.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. You check it out if you're into that type of stuff. So
yeah. I guess we can move to the ones that need it.
Let's move to the ones that need it, because you got a couple for this.
I do. One is more so my types of peeps. Call of Duty. Now, I know before anybody says it, there is a Call of Duty every single year, and that still upsets me. It's kind of milked. It's like over milked. There's no milk coming out, right? It's just dry heaves, udders. That's what's happening. But I still believe they need to make one that is just so good it revitalizes it in a whole new aspect, because what they're doing now, it's working to a point. They're selling and all the microtransactions and blah 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 blah. They're making money, but us customers aren't getting gold. We're getting gold covered garbage. I'm looking at the top 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the last top 10, the last one that made it was in 2017. We are almost 10 years from that. All right. We're at 8, might as well be almost 9. And before that, it was 2015 and then 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. All in they're not in a row wise, but all there numerically. That tells you something, right?
Yeah.
That these games are not selling like they used to. Now, is it because we've caught on to them and they just release one every year, so we know we don't really have to buy every single one? Or is it because the quality of these games have just been slowly but surely getting worse?
Yeah.
And like my favorite one was Modern Warfare 2, and that was the 6th most sold. The most sold is actually Black Ops.
That's not surprising. Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, I remember standing in line for the midnight release.
Yeah.
That ages me right there on the spot. But anyways, I'm not a game developer. I don't know, but they it's kind of funny that Call of Duty needs their Battlefield 6.
Yeah, they do. They do. Amazing that the person that seems like that's turned her around was someone that worked for years on Call of Duty. And so they need their Battlefield 6. They need to figure it out. I don't know if they will, if they have the capacity to. The thing is like I'm trying to check to make sure, like you said, part of the issue is that Call of Duty is a yearly title.
Yeah.
It's a yearly release. And the last Battlefield, which I think was 2042, that came out in 2021. So they went away for 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, even longer. Yeah, like they went back to the lab and like had the time to figure some things out. But Call of Duty's like, we gotta have one every year. Every year, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving,
The good / bad thing about the Call of Duty is it used to be 3, it might still be 3, but it might not. Studios. So like Black Ops was Treyarch, so one of those would come out every other year. And then it was Modern Warfare. Those were out every other year. But then after, at some point, it was like Raven something.
Yeah.
Another one was like a Hammer. Like more studios came in. So it was like every third year.
What was it? Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Raven something?
Sledgehammer, yeah. Raven something and Infinity Ward.
Yes. Yeah.
So they technically are working on the game for it might be 2 years instead of the one, but it needs more than that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, at least to see that iteration happen at least one of the series, right?
Right.
Like, hey, one of these studios goes away in the lab and cooks up something nice, while the other ones kind of hold it down for a little bit, or maybe we even have a smaller fourth quasi studio that helps helm some things while this other one goes away and tries to work on some stuff. Put our
Right.
brightest minds on it to try to figure it out, but who knows if they will. Um, yeah, for my one, it was again, I completely forgot what it was, but I have a different game, and so this one still needs it though. Um,
You're sounding like me, man, forgetting
I know,
everything.
right? I know, right? Who needs a Battlefield 6? Well, if it's an RPG single player version that's space based or based in space, I know exactly the franchise that needs a Battlefield 6, and it's Mass Effect. Mass
Ooh.
Effect needs a Battlefield 6. I think Mass Effect Andromeda, which was the
Mm.
last one that was pretty poorly received, not great. I don't think it's as bad as people claimed it was at the time. But faces were melting off characters. I don't blame them, right? But that can't be the last real taste of Mass Effect that we're left with.
Okay,
Um,
I see.
so another have one in development right now. Um, Based on how Dragon Age the Veilguard came out, not a lot of confidence there, but
Yeah.
it needs a Battlefield 6 because you're once again talking about a venerable sci-fi RPG franchise that I mean, like, it has a day, right? It's November 7th, right? Isn't November 7th um Mass Effect Day, I believe, right? Because
It's
the ship was called
11-7,
the N7, I think.
117, N7. Yeah, N7. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're going to give a quasi game, game a quasi holiday or day, it's got to have some juice. It's got to have some meat.
I would agree
And
with
if we've
that.
already got a great sci-fi franchise in Halo dying on the vine already, we can't have another one also experiencing that because BioWare went and lost their minds. So that one's got to hit. That one it's got to hit. I don't know how it's going to hit. When you think about the fact that it is BioWare, BioWare seems to have lost its magic. When you think about the fact that it's also published by EA, a lot of the issues that Dragon Age had, they had blamed on EA's meddling, and EA was just acquired by Jared Kushner and a consortium of Saudi individuals. We don't know how that's going to work, right? I don't know how it's going to end up working out, but it's got to hit, because if that doesn't hit, then you kind of have two franchises that are no go, and then BioWare's reaching to try to make some money, and they're probably scrambling to do a Jade Empire remake because everyone else is like, well, you killed these two franchises by being incompetent. So just remake a great game we all loved from before. We'll have nostalgia, member berries come up, and we'll try to just buy that, and you can go ahead and stow it away. That could just work for
Hmm.
Bethesda. Bethesda earned themselves goodwill with a remake of Oblivion, so just do the same thing, BioWare, because right now you ain't got it. Bethesda's like, oh hey, we screwed up the biggest IP launch we ever had with Starfield. How would you like an Oblivion remake? And we're like, yeah, give us more. I'm right there. Yeah, give us more. You screwed this
You know
one, but
what?
yeah, sure.
We can forgive you a little bit.
We
You're
forgive you
not
a little
off the
bit.
hook, but this is a start.
Yeah, give us newer versions of the old things that you used to make good. Let's just do that. You know.
uh,
I think that's one of them. I think that's the one that
okay.
needs the Battlefield 6.
Yeah, because personally, I only knew of the three,
Yeah,
and I've heard great things about the three.
original trilogy is great.
So, yeah, I'm with you then.
Yeah.
Um, what's another one for me? Okay, well, this one's not for me, but it's for the people,
Hmm.
and it is Madden, the NFLs, right? We know
Yeah.
how bad these games are, and I
Yeah.
I looked them up as well. The top four most sold ones, because it only gave me the top four for some reason, are from the 2000s, 5, 6, 7, and 8, respectively.
That is the height of
That is
Madden.
bad. That is bad.
Yeah.
That is so bad, especially when they pretty much have one every year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Madden, get your head in the game and fix this. I want
Yeah.
to see a top 10 sold again. Bring it back. I don't even play these games. I'd rather play Blitz or NFL Street. but give us some quality if you want people to keep buying your game.
Let's just for shies and gigs, because they list the four on it. Do they show the covers for each of the top four?
No, it was just like listing.
Okay. Let's play a quick game. Let's play a really quick game. Would you mind? I'm pretty sure you could find a list of the cover athletes for Madden, and I'm going to try to guess the cover athletes for these four. You said it was 05, 06, 07, and 08, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think I know. I think I know. I think I know.
So how am I supposed to know the name of these people?
I'm assuming they might have it on. I'll say the names. They might just have it on, like, I'm assuming like Wikipedia or something would have like Madden cover athletes, and then it just lists like the year and the name. I'm trying to double check to make sure.
Okay, I have 08 ready to go.
08? Okay, that's the one that I think is actually the trickiest for me. Is 08 is 08 Vince Young of the Tennessee Titans?
It is, dude.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go.
Yes.
Look at this impromptu game we just got thrown around here.
I know, right? These other three are going to be easy. They're going to be easy. It's going to be GG easy. I'm telling you.
Okay, I got 07 ready to go.
07 is running back for the Seattle Seahawks, Sean Alexander.
It is.
Yes.
Very well.
Yes.
All right, 06. Okay, I got
06? it. 06 has got to be Donovan McNabb, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
It is.
Which means that 05 is Ray Lewis, linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. And 04 would have been Michael Vick, quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Okay. Good. Still got it. Still got some kind of memory.
Yeah.
Easier for me to access that than to access those Pokemons in that freaking Google Pokemon game. I was struggling there. I was melting down.
Hey, you're remembering real people. So
you know what? That's true.
You know, you're remembering real people.
Exactly. Did you have any more games for your games that need a Battlefield 6?
I just, you know what? Screw it. Twisted Metal. Let's be real. The last one, I don't like it. We need another. Between having 2 seasons on TV now, and probably, I think they already said that they're shooting the 3rd season. Where's my game? Where's my game, PlayStation?
That's
I don't have a PS5. I will go buy a PS5 if you give me a good Twisted Metal.
I mean, just wait for PS6. That's probably like a year or two away.
God dang it, you're right.
These clowns are trying to play us for fools, and I don't buy it for a second. You're trying to prime us for your $1,200 console. I know exactly what's going on here. Okay. But I agree. If it's getting 3 seasons, where's the game? That seems like it would naturally happen. Like, oh, we're having success with the show. Let's try to sneak a game in here. It could even be like a light treatment. Like, let's not throw a bunch of resources behind it. Let's throw a little bit of resources behind it. You know what I'm saying? We got all this God of War, Ghost of Tsushima money. You know what I'm saying? We got all this money. We got all this Astrobot money. Let's go ahead and throw some of it behind a little Twisted Metal, see what we can get there cracking. And if we see a lot of people wanting it, then we build out something more and give it to them, you know?
Right. It's the perfect escape for it. I'm telling you, just a battle royale except with Twisted Metal cars.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop and land and stuff. You just start in a random spot on the map like you did on the original games.
Yeah. And it seems like there would be a way to make that, if you want to. It's like you said, to kind of battle royale that game and make it a live service. That seems like a very live servicey type of game. And that's what PlayStation's been wanting to do.
See, perfect spot. But they also even me as the live player, I need that story.
Yeah.
I need story mode with every single character in this game.
Well, I guess like a story mode with like a really strong kind of live service like multiplayer element to it. And that's weird because it's like, why would you not do that? You spent $100 million on Concord and then canceled it after 2 weeks, but you can't throw $40 million behind a Twisted Metal proof of concept to just get people going on the franchise again. It's your
Right.
IP. You own the IP. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. You could make Twisted Metal as inclusive as you want it to. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like you did with Concord. Concord, bright, inclusive. You can do the same thing with Twisted Metal. As long as you have the clown and the black vehicle, and you can kill all these people that you're including now, right? As long as you can do that, it's all good. It's all gravy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that lends us towards the end of the podcast level, which means it's time for final thoughts, where we can offer a final thought about something either related or unrelated to this podcast episode. So, who wants to give a final thought first? I can offer it.
Go ahead.
I read somewhere, I think on Game Rant, that there is talk, there is murmurs about that they're going to do a remake or remaster of Scarface, The World Is Yours. Now, David, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this game. I'm trying to think if maybe I
What?
talked about it. Scarface, The World Is Yours is a GTA clone from 2006 based in the world of Scarface. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the movie Scarface.
I've watched it one time because I was
Okay.
forced to.
Okay. Well, that's not a great movie to be forced to watch. I mean, I love it, but that is a very violent movie to be forced to watch.
I mean, I was like 17 or 18.
I got you. Yeah. So then you're familiar with the fact that in Scarface, in the movie world, Tony Montana dies. This isn't a spoiler. This movie's like 70 years old. Tony Montana dies. In the game is, but what if he did it? That's literally the premise of the game. That is the entire premise of the game. But what if he did it? And you play Tony Montana basically rebuilding his empire so he can take on Sosa and run the world of cocaine, right? That's kind of it. And so yeah, it is a GTA clone. It is janky, it is weird. I've talked about I think it was like developed by Vivendi for some reason comes to mind, and it was published by Sierra Games, and it had a bunch of celebrities that were doing the voice acting for it.
Really?
I played it recently. I feel like I played it like within the last year or so. I think I played it on emulation. I think I was emulating PS2 games, and I think that's where I played it. But I love it. It's a janky game. It's one of those janky games that I love janky games. And I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say actually I love it, but I really enjoyed it. But they're planning on remaking it, and I'm like, could you not think of something better? There are infinitely better games.
You know how many other games are a better choice?
How many other games? Is anyone pining for a Scarface IP game? I haven't heard anyone pining for that. I felt like that was a distinct phase from
like an obvious answer.
Like from 2005 to 2009, we cared about Scarface. The younger cats like me at the time cared about Scarface, and then we didn't. You know what I'm saying? And then we moved on to memes, and then we moved on to Dramatic Gopher and all these other things that happened, right? We weren't really thinking about Scarface anymore. So who's asking for it now? You know what I'm saying? I remember then they were trying to get Al Pacino to voice Tony Montana. He was like in his 60s at the time. It's like, he's not going to sound like that at all. Well, now he's like 134. So obviously you're not going to get Al Pacino to voice Tony Montana. Who are these people you're getting? What for? What's the reason? I don't understand. But
me either.
I will follow it with close intrigue because there's also a possibility that I might buy this game I don't understand. But that's my final thought.
That's great.
I know, right?
My final thought. I don't really have one. So instead, I'll show off this cute little mouse statue thing that my partner found, and it fell off the microwave and his ears broke. I know you can't really see it that well, but see, there's no ear.
Oh, okay.
So now I have him, and he sits on top of my desk and I just look at him and I can think of my girlfriend.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's a
I was
nice
I
little
was
reminder.
I was gonna ask, are you like, have you ever had or considered having a mouse as a pet?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah.
I I'm one of those weird people where I want nothing to do with animals at all.
Hmm.
If I didn't have to interact with them, that'd be great. But I love animals, and it nothing makes me angrier, except when it's to little kids, when people mess around with animals, wild or domesticated.
Yeah.
Like they're not less than us. We are just let me rephrase that. Some of us are smarter than them. That's
Right.
it.
Some of us. Yeah. Some of us are. Yeah.
They're like spiders, moths, whatever. Not centipedes. I find them. I take them outside. Lost animals. I help them find their owner. I'm at a friend's house. I pet the cat. I pet the dog.
Yeah.
I just
Like you're
I
saying,
don't.
like if
Mm-mm.
like spiders or centipedes, you find them, you release them back outside. Is that
Correct.
like, gotcha? I think I'm trying to think. So I it depends on with certain things like centipedes, right? Also spiders. Well, centipedes for sure. I tend to take them out because they scare me.
Yeah,
Um
I lose those more than anything.
like
They're
lose them,
they're
like you lose where they are, like you like
well
because
that, but
they don't just
like
move.
I lose I take their life away.
Ah, yeah.
But spiders are a lot easier, so I have a higher success rate with those.
Trapping and letting them
The
go. Yeah.
centipedes, as soon as they know that you're coming for them, they're gone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're going. You got to just like kind of figure it out. And obviously it's like that time of year where more of the spiders and the centipedes start showing up. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So you're like, all
Yep.
right, I'm trying to figure this out. We get big ones, big striped suckers that like
Mm.
hang off our trucks and cars and stuff. And it's like, okay, I don't know how this happened. Like
Living
one of
behind a
them
mirror.
built a web from the light above my side door to the fence to my backyard, and I'm like, this wasn't here yesterday. How did you build this elaborate system of webbing in 12 hours? But you somehow did it, you know?
Listen, I have a flagpole right next to my driveway.
Yeah.
And then about, I'd say 30 feet, maybe 20 feet away is the edge of my yard with my neighbor where it meets, and we have a bunch of trees and stuff right on the yard line. And the spider built a web from the pole to the tree.
I got
It's like how and it was elaborate. Like it had, it was evenly spaced and like that. I'm like, how? How did you even get
Yeah.
from pole to tree in the first place?
Oh man, I had one. I found one. It had a web from the tree in front of my house to my grass to my yard. I was so angry. I'm like, can I not have my yard? Can you not just give me my yard? Why do you have to build
Dang
down here?
spider.
Like, God, man, like let me have my grass. I cut the grass every week. Leave it alone. Just build your web in the tree.
You know where I come.
I know exactly.
I walk on this grass.
It was a overt sign, an act of disrespect. That's what it was. That's why I got angry. The
Yeah.
spider clearly disrespected, was not respectful of me or
He
anyone in
knew
my
my
household.
boundaries.
Exactly.
No, no webs on the lawn.
Exactly. So, you imagine that angry shake of "get off my lawn," and it's just some little spider hanging on a leaf. Like, what's your problem, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Well, that ends and leads us to the end of level 143 with Awesome Players Podcast. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, share, subscribe to the podcast on your preferred podcast service and on the socials like Facebook and Instagram and all of that. And also make sure to check us out on YouTube where we upload video versions of our podcast every week. If you want to support us, there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can buy merch at our Teespring store. For instance, like this phone case, t-shirt, hoodies, different stuff like that. You can also support us on Patreon if you want. We have 3 different tiers: a $2, $5, and $7 tier, each offering different little bits of goodies. Currently, we have episode 3 of the Executive Movie Industry Tycoon Let's Play up on YouTube right now. Level 4 would have came out the Sunday before this comes out. So be sure to check us out there too. And then we've also got some exclusive Let's Plays that's for patrons only. That is it for me. David, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Actually, yeah, quite a lot. No, I'm just peace.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next level.